Hey, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be bringing you my first in-depth game review. So far I've only been doing trailer analysis videos as we're moving into the days leading up to E3, but I have a game that looks like it just might be what the arcade racing genre needs right now. I'm a huge fan of arcade racing with the likes of Need for Speed, Burnout, Flatout, and MotorStorm, and I think we finally have a spiritual successor to that final game in Onrush. In March 2016, Sony decided to shut down Evolution Studios to the dismay of its many fans. With 3 MotorStorm games under its belt, including one for PSP and Drive Club, I was certainly disappointed as well. However, with Evolution failing to deliver on all the promises it made with Drive Club, I knew that they may be in danger of being pushed by the wayside. Fortunately, upon the closure, Codemasters decided to try to form a new studio made up of the talent at Evolution Studios, led by Paul Rachinsky, who directed Drive Club. I hope I said that right. This new team within Codemasters began work on their new game soon after their formation, and it was revealed in October 2017 at Paris Games Week. Alright, so let's get right into the review now that you know a little background on the studio. Just so you are aware, I'm going to be reviewing games based on what I like to call the big 3 in today's gaming world: the gameplay, the visuals, and the replayability. These aspects of a game come together to form its overall impact and appeal, and I believe they are the foundational characteristics of a great game. Okay, let's take a look at Onrush and why I think this should definitely be your next purchase. So let's start with the gameplay. Upon starting up Onrush, any MotorStorm fan will certainly feel right at home. There are multiple classes of vehicles to drive, and tracks that range from mountainous regions to wide open beaches. But I would like to emphasize first that Onrush is not really about racing at all. This game is more about completing specific tasks to outdo your opponents on the track. This becomes a reality when you're thrust into your first race without a starting or finish line anywhere in sight. In fact, you won't find them anywhere in this game. The point of the game is to drive as recklessly as possible, including ramming opponents and completing high jumps to gain boost. This in turn allows your team to score points in its various modes and deploy special abilities. Also, the game gives players 8 different classes to try out. These are not classes that offer a variety of weights, acceleration, or handling, but differ in their boost accumulation and special abilities. These classes range from Blade, which leaves trails of fire behind your car when you boost that damages opponents, to Dynamo, who can drop boost pickups for your team, to Charger, who can plow through opponents with a substantially larger rush effect. The vehicles also have that awesome almost on rails handling that makes this genre a favorite of mine. Okay, so next up, the visuals. The aesthetic of this game certainly feels a lot like MotorStorm did. Cars have a multitude of detail within them, from decals and suspension to mud splatter. The cars can also be destroyed in awesome fashion as they explode into pieces after being rammed off the track. You can certainly tell that the guys behind the awesome crashes in MotorStorm put their skills to work here. The tracks and lighting are also your standard fare for this genre, and nothing is bleeding edge amazing, but you won't care too much driving past it at 150 miles an hour. The effects of the car's special abilities are also nicely rendered, and didn't seem cheesy or distracting to me. Also, the game does run at a consistent 60 frames per second, but the Xbox One version is capped at 30 Hz, with the PS4 and PC version running at 60 Hz. Overall, the developers have done an awesome job making this game nice to look at. Alright, lastly, let's look at replayability. There are a number of modes within Onrush that really allow you to spend some fun-filled time with the game, but don't go into it looking for a fleshed-out single-player campaign or arcade mode. Not that I'm really complaining about that, however, because Onrush is clearly built with the multiplayer gamer in mind. This title puts all its cards into the competitive multiplayer modes that include Overdrive, Lockdown, Countdown, and Switch, pitting 2 teams of 6 against each other. However, each of these modes gives players a lot of crazy action to experience. I can certainly see myself coming back to this game for as long as its online community is thriving. The first mode I'm going to talk about, which is my favorite, is Overdrive, and it essentially boils down to whichever team can burn through the most boost within a given match. The only way you can score points in this mode is if you are boosting, so this gives you a major incentive to drive as fast and as recklessly as possible. You certainly need to wreck your opponents, and you certainly need to hit those jumps at maximum speed. The more you do these things, the more boost you're going to have, and the faster you're going to win. You can also gain boost from what are called ghost cars in this mode, which are basically AI-driven cars ripe to be destroyed in a fiery crash. The next mode on offer is Lockdown, which is a mode that tasks racers with driving inside a King of the Hill style area that moves about the same speed as your car down the track. If you spend 5 seconds driving in this bubble, your team scores a point. And I'm sure you can just imagine how ridiculous that is trying to stay inside the bubble with the opposing team trying to knock you out of it. This mode makes for some satisfying but hectic gameplay. The last two modes that we have here are Countdown and Switch. Countdown is a mode that is simply a checkpoint race with a timer, but Switch is an all-out car combat mode that brings back memories of Twisted Metal and Vigilante 8, except on a track. Each team member is given 3 lives and must destroy the opposing team using their specials and other power-ups. Even after a player has been taken out, they can still drive around during the match, which is a nice addition if you get taken out early. While having all these modes is great for the replayability of this game, I would have liked to seen some traditional racing game modes thrown in for good measure. An arcade race or time trials would seem perfect for this type of gameplay, as players are encouraged to drive as fast as possible. I hope that they add that in a future update for the game. It would certainly be a nice touch. Alright, to sum things up, Onrush may have flew under your radar, but I would encourage you to check it out. If you are a fan of MotorStorm, I will bet that you will find some nostalgia in this game. But don't go into it expecting a true MotorStorm experience or even a traditional racing game experience. Couple the frantic gameplay with some exciting multiplayer modes and hopefully more to come, and I feel pretty confident that you'll really enjoy this game. Definitely buy it if you're into arcade racing or car combat. I'm going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. Alright guys, thanks for checking out my first video game review on His White Lights Versus. I appreciate all the support and look forward to hearing what you think about this game. If you like what you saw, remember to like this video and comment on it, and of course subscribe to my channel. I have enjoyed interacting with you guys so far and look forward to bringing you more gaming related content. Until next time guys.